some of you or many of you didn't need much of introduction about me. And so today we will be mostly speaking about the discipline agile, which is a new concept which has been getting very much popular now and getting the buzzword nowadays. And so first of all, I would like to thank PMI, Kerala chapter, for giving me an opportunity, even though I'm being a board member, but getting an opportunity to present in a webinar is difficult in Kerala chapter nowadays because a lot of people are looking for this opportunity. And so some of this, to start with, whatever I will be sharing is totally my perspective and in my context, whatever I have been working on 19 years, whatever industry I saw. So, and some of the things which you can relate, some of the things you may not be really able to relate because context may be different. So uh, please bear with me. And as most of the great orators or the speakers, whenever you start with a story. That is the best way to start. So I hope you can actually clearly see my screen, right? The PowerPoint. Yes, right. Okay. So this is a story, The Hare and Tortoise, which is a story which most of us or all of us know that there was a race previous between a very arrogant hare and a very smart tortoise. And after running a few miles, the hare think that okay, I already succeeded, so he slept in between. And tortoise was very slow, steady. He overtook the hare, go one step at a time, and reach the final destination. And he became the winner. So this is a story which a lot of people, including me, my kids, everybody knows, and we say that slow and steady wins the race. But nowadays, some of the management consultants have come up with a very different perspective, saying that maybe there can be a possibility that these hare and tortoise may be good friends. And the tortoise was always getting demotivated or depressed because he was always a failure because he cannot run like a hare or he cannot do great things like other people. He is always a failure and he was not a success in any of the places. And being a very good friend, hare was trying to motivate tortoise many times and saying that okay, this is you are great, you are an awesome guy, and you are always a success. But tortoise said that how can you say that because I don't believe it, because I never succeeded in my life. And hare thought that okay, let me do as a friend, I need to do something different, right? So he thought that okay, let me do a race with the tortoise. And in between, he purposefully acted like sleeping in between. And when he acted like sleeping, and the tortoise walked, and he reached the final destination, and everybody got surprised because this is a huge surprise because everybody expected Hare to be the success story, but suddenly there is a new success came from the tortoise. Everybody got surprised. And from then on, tortoise became the icon or a symbol of success, and hare became a symbol of arrogance or failure or whatever it is. But from a friendship perspective, hare became so successful because he was able to motivate tortoise to become a huge success story. And from then on, tortoise became a huge success story to everyone. So I don't know whether you heard about this story, the second version of the story, but this story is getting popular nowadays, and I would like to believe in the second version because in the second version it's always a win-win situation for everybody. Even though Hare lost, but he actually win in his friendship. So he made one person successful. It's a great story to do with. So, so if, it means that every story, every success story, or every project, or everything that you are looking at may have different perspective or different versions, or in our terms, they will have different context. So whatever we see, whatever we envision, may not be always right in all the sense. So I know that you people here who are attending this webinar have a lot of experience and a lot of basically project management experience from your side, and you have done many successful projects previously. But take all this experience and all the knowledge you have, take it aside for 30 to 45 minutes, and let's try to understand a different perspective. What are the things which the project or a project manager need to do to make things successful? We are trying to put it in a different version, and I'm trying to make it as simple as possible so that we can take it forward from there. Hope everybody can hear me properly and see the presentation. Thank you, Adarsh. So I have been working more than a decade with one of the biggest MNCs in the world, and basically I was from IT industry, and so there are some interesting case studies. There are two case studies which I have actually taken out, and which have everything similar. Right? The implementation, it was an HR and finance implementation of a PeopleSoft ERP. Everything is similar, but the scenarios were totally different. So the first scenario was we were implementing one of the biggest public sector research university in Canada, PeopleSoft implementation. The main thing which they were actually telling is that since it is a public sector research organization, they want to make sure that most of the people, the resources need to be landed, right? And it is like 80-20, where 80% of the people need to be landed. And at that time, I was handling this account, and I was the most sorted out person in IBM because everybody was looking for me, and everybody want to go to this project on a landed role, and it is for a long time, and everybody got very much interested. Suddenly, there is a policy change which happened from the consulate that every person need to work minimum of 2 years in a particular organization to be eligible to travel. Suddenly, more than 80% of the people who were showing very much interest to me suddenly vanished, and didn't started picking up my phones, and so they suddenly vanished from the whole thing. And the only thing which has been they put in the contract is that they have a stringent timeline. They need to complete everything by July, so that they can release and roll out the benefits by August and September, and the benefits will be running from October onward. So that was the plan. So, so we lost all our resources which were initially planned. Suddenly, as most of the IT companies or some delivery companies which do project management, what they will do is that they will give us a lot of rookies who are all college freshouts, which they may know PeopleSoft name or maybe little bit of PeopleSoft, and we get a lot of people with PeopleSoft, and they said, okay, now you run the show, and I got it from 5 different locations across the world. So these were the major challenges which we faced. But after we were able to complete the entire project, we planned to complete the entire project by June, but we were able to complete the project by April 28th, 2011 at that time. So it was actually a huge success story. And some of the learnings which we did in order to make sure that which was not the usual management practices which our organization was following, because our organization has more than 100 years of experience, and they have put a lot of effort in making the project management practices grow big. And we tailored the project management in such a way that there were a lot of transparency we have actually bring into the system for all the stakeholders. And we ensured that the stakeholders were given more importance. We are not speaking about the customer alone. The stakeholders which are affected entirely, who are external or internal to the organization, every stakeholders are being totally being taken care, and transparency has been given to each of the thing. At that time, the HBR has come out with a new concept called cluster teams, and we thought like, okay, let's implement it rather than waiting for the thing. So it's like an agile team where there will be a pair of two people who will be leading the team, and we have a set of people who will be working along with the team, and these cluster teams will be based upon business value. So every value stream we will actually keep cluster teams, and it will be led by a pair of people. And so it will be a combination of extreme programming, it will be a combination of agile, lot of different combinations which we have used in. And we started getting a synergy with the teams, because people are getting a lot of, and we started optimizing the delivery using a simple method. And that usually in IBM or in any organization, we will actually project what has been done as a team. But here we started projecting or reporting at an individual level, and we started publishing as a leaderboard. And to our surprise, we understand that most of these rookies or the new recruits started performing very well, or maybe their performance, like the productivity percentage, has gone more than 125 percentage or 130 percentage. And we got really surprised, because we don't know whether how they can actually make it happen. Because initially we thought like, okay, we have given them only less tasks to less complex tasks, so that they were able to make it very effective, or make the productivity percentage go up. But even though we have given very complex reports, very complex integrations, they were able to do it just like a cakewalk. We really got surprised. And then while doing an analysis, we understood that most of the senior people were actually supporting these rookies to make sure that they were actually very successful. And these new recruits were very happy or very smart in making the seniors work for them and making the productivity happen. So as a project, the project has got a lot of benefit, and our productivity percentage has grown up. There were a lot of risks which were there because of we don't have the right resources, we don't have skilled resources. Whatever the resources we have, we call it as less skilled during that time, but suddenly they turn to be superstars. Right? So we consider that every risk is come with a huge opportunity. And some of the key wins which were there is that we got a 56% increase in the GP. We have 1,400 man months of account growth. We got prestigious IBM Distinguished Global Distinguished Project of the Year award of 2011. And this is the award which will be given for the project which has been executed extremely well. And that is the only project from the global delivery who have won till now. And we became runner-up for the PMI India's best short-term project of the year 2012 as well. So whatever we do may not be totally aligned to the conventional project management practices. We tried to improve or improvise or whatever we did in order to make sure that we try to adapt the best practices from many and put it together into one. Another case study with the very simple CM and a finance implementation for the biggest international financial institution who is funding many of the governments across the world. So again, my manager called me one day and he said that, okay, come to KGA, where we can actually sit and talk. And many of you know my manager, so I don't want to disclose his name here openly. And he called me and he said, okay, let's go and have a chit chat there. And we had a very nice evening there. And he was telling me that, okay, Krishna, the entire IBM is very much thinking a lot about you. You are a great project manager. You are a great account manager. You can make things, lot of different things. Suddenly, there is an alarm strikes. Okay, there is something coming on my way. And then he said that, okay, there is a new project which is coming up, which is, client has actually sued 6 of their previous vendors, but we are very sure that you can do it. And because of my excitement, and he was telling that, even Sam and Ginny was actually referring your name regarding that. And I was so happy, so surprised because IBM CEO was mentioning about me. And later I understand that, when your manager is actually praising you too much, then you need to understand that there is something which is coming on the way. And when your manager is telling something in a very low voice, understand it very clearly. That is the two things which I understand there. Right? So I got into a project where there were multiple vendors and there were minority companies which are already there in the project, and every vendor want to pull the other vendor down. Lot of internal politics or external politics or whatever it is, and the contract were very stringent. We need to have a very closed global delivery location need to be there. And again, as usual, we get a very inexperienced team to start with. Very tough customer. They were reviewing the code, each and everything, and they were telling that, yeah, this need to be taken care. The main thing is that the stakeholders were not committed during that time, because the stakeholders which are internal to us at that time, because there is a lot of constraints which they have put during the in the contract, and we have to work with the internal stakeholders to make things happen. And many times, as maybe if you work with the big organizations, you will understand escalation will not work. Escalation will never work. You can send big emails to everybody. You can send, including copying the CEO. You can send big mails, but nothing is going to happen. And everything goes in their own pace. And you need to understand how to pull the right strings to make things happen. And that is the main thing. And the supporting organizations were totally not aligned at that time. We were able to complete the whole thing with a lot of learnings which we were able to do. The transparency, again, transparency was the key. Visibility and transparency was the key, which we make sure that whichever we deliver, whatever we deliver, we try to whatever they are supposed to deliver to us, and we also make sure that it is being transparently visible to everybody. And we started winning the stakeholders rather than fighting with us. We try to convince them. We try to make sure that we are not taking their business in. We are trying to making sure that the things are all working together. And we started putting good relationship with them, and we started understanding their communication, because that is the most key thing, because the whatever we hear may not be the real communication whatever they meant. If you try to understand the communication in between, then you will be a success. And Again, we have actually put self-managed teams to make things happen. The team where everybody we were giving the awards. Every week we started giving awards to them, making sure that the things are actually happening. Internal quality gateways which we have actually put to identify the defects before going to the customer. We have actually put a very senior people, a group of people to make sure that the code is being totally reviewed and delivered before them. We are totally moving to the left. Some of the key wins. It was a huge logo win for IBM at that time, and we got a 10 out of 10 in the CSR rating, and maybe first of the kind which that organization has given to somebody else. And we got a 500 percentage account growth, which is a huge thing. Again, IBM, we got the best lean implementation award and the best account manager award, and 5 of our team members got the best of the best in IBM award because of the effectiveness which they have actually put, and the client directly recommended for that. So while looking at this whole scenario, we understand that there are same project, similar things, but it will be implemented in different ways according to the context, according to the situation. Everything changes. So discipline agile comes a lot of way into the picture, and the definition goes like this. It is actually a process driven toolkit. It will give straightforward guidance in a very context sensitive manner. You need to understand the word context sensitive manner and provide a solid foundation for the business agility. Again, agility of the business comes important, showing how various activities work together with all these other organizations, others, how people we do, describes what the activities we should address, and mainly there is a range of options you can take the best out of the thing which you like and which is most suited for the situation. Hmm? And you need to make right trade-off associated with each option because we cannot hold everything together. So you need to do some trade-offs here and there. So I know this is a very controversial question which I may be asking that. So whatever I will be telling is according to again my perspective. Best Indian team cricket captain. And if and we know that everybody have different perspective. Let's if we can make it a little interactive, it would be great. If we can put it in the comment box or the chat box, it, we can we can understand who you think as the best. One second. Dhoni, right? Dhoni, Saurav, Kapil Dev, Dhoni, Kapil Dev, Ganguly, Dhoni, yes, Saurav, Kapil. So we have three big names which are coming up. Nobody mentioned about Kohli till now. That is very interesting. Whenever we speak about this, totally coming. Oh, Shrikant, that is a very different option. Maharaj. So let me go to my PPT. There are many captains. Everybody have their own perspective. I understand that most of the people favors Dhoni or many people favors Ganguly or Dada, Saurav, and many old guys like me favors Kapil Dev. So, um, but when we are looking at looking from a management perspective, right? Ganguly's era has actually changed the Indian cricket a lot, right? When Ganguly, I hope you people remember this food. This photo is a classical photo of the transformation of Indian cricket. And Ganguly was behind the transformation. And there were many factors, but Ganguly was the captain during that time, or maybe in our language, we can say it as a project manager, program manager, who did that changes during that time. Some of the things which happened during that time, one is a lot of all-rounders were actually brought in. Lot of key players like Harbhajan, Yuvraj, lot of great players, Sehwag, everybody was brought in during that time. And till then, Indian cricket team was actually like a team where we will be doing things on a style, and we can do many things. We will be doing things, but if there is a sudden change which is happening in our whatever we are doing or in our circumstances which we are in, then we suddenly get confused, or maybe many times we will win, but there are chances that we will get lost in the last minute. Okay? So it was like after the middle order batsman and maybe 4 or 5, that everybody will be coming there, hit 2 6s or 4s, and then go by head down. And after Ganguly, Dhoni, Dravid, and Kumble, we have now Kohli. So they have after Ganguly, the entire transformation happened. Highly motivated team has come into picture, self-managed and adaptable team. Even though we lost 4 wickets initially, no problem. We will New Zealand, no problem. We will bat. Okay? Previously, like okay, we will be going to West Indies. No, we will not bat. We will going to Australia. Okay, we will have a hard time. So then after this, suddenly the entire team structure or the team morale got changed heavily, and it is the team started acting self-managed. It's like an amoeba. They started acting very good, and even 3 wickets down, 4 wickets down, no problem. We, we will take things together. And in the team selection, the captain became and the coach became the one of the key factors during that time in taking it forward. Till that time, after Syed Trimani, then we didn't have a great wicketkeeper batsman. I specifically said it's a great wicketkeeper batsman, which was being taken over after Dhoni has come into picture, and we get the best wicketkeeper batsman. Nice to see at that time, and we got this is the most important thing. At that time, we got the international coach, where there is a lot of experience which is being shared, and we started playing well in the international pitches. A lot of good things were happening. So our total perspective got changed. And one of the international coaches, our captain had a big issue with the coach after that, but that's a different story. But that the initial time, um, it makes a huge difference till that time. Till then, we had national coaches who were excellent players, but the international coach made a huge difference. And till then, we were actually having a team which is very good, but we may not be adaptable for 2020 or 50 over matches at that time. And then when the new people came into picture with a lot of aggression, lot of attitude, and a lot of positiveness comes into picture, we have a lot of choices available. If they are not playing well, they will be replaced. If they are not playing well for two matches, 3 matches, they will be replaced. A lot of players will be available, a lot of styles will be available, and we have left-hander all-rounders, we have right-hander all-rounders, we have a number of options which has come up. And the concept of Team India has come up during that time. And after that, you can see there is a huge transition happened. And Dravid became the captain, and he was again managing it very well. Yeah. Ganguly was the captain during the time, but we never won any World Cup. But when Dravid came into picture, after that followed by Kumble, then by Dhoni, then things changed. And the learning curve, which was happened during that time, was changed, and now the communication became more and more effective. They were able to bring the whole World Cup to India at that time, and that was a huge success or a huge transformation the team has undergone. Because if you are a hardcore fan or a hardcore follower of cricket, Indian cricket, you will understand what I was actually telling. So, what are the key principles which make any project or any team awesome, or making something which are the 7 principles of discipline agile? One, the delight your customer. Delighting the customer, everybody says delight the customer is not like providing whatever he is looking for. It is giving an extra mile, giving something extra, and that too on a continuous basis, so that people will be very happy. The customers will be very happy that they will be properly uh, listened and properly understood and in all the ways, and they will be continuously getting the value from the delivery team. For example, when you are going into a hotel and you may be having no lines, but you can get the hotel a good room in the hotel without any issue. It's like an average experience to you. But when you reach a hotel and the receptionist or the bellboy and there is a please be here, and the check-in process, they have made it very easy, and they did an upgrade without you asking for it, and you will be getting your favorite things without you asking for it, will delight you. And even if you are not getting it every time, you will be visiting there so frequently. So this is the delight customers, and you need to have an awesome team. The awesome team is like what we are telling, that the team should not be interfered from outside. The team should be like a team who will be self-managed, who can actually do things themselves and take it to the next level. Whenever there is a change happen, the team will be equipped enough to take it themselves and run it their own. And as a project manager, your role is to make sure that the team will be motivated enough to take care of the entire thing. And like the famous quote, you take care of the employees, they will take care of your business. So you need to have a awesome team who will be handling the entire thing. They need to be self-sufficient, like what we were telling. They need to be all-rounders. It is always better to have maximum number of all-rounders in the team, and you need to be pragmatic, you need to be realistic, because we know that, okay, in the previous example when I shared these two stories, then in the first and the second case study, we know that exactly the same situation or the similar situation is going to happen. But there is actually always a change, because the team will be different, the situations will be different, you are working with a different customer, the requirement which is coming on the last minute may be different. So you need to be realistic in understanding what exactly the customer or the stakeholders are looking for and deliver value accordingly. So again, context. We were telling about the context from the very first minute. So ultimately, whenever there is a context is there, I'll tell you a very simple example. Like J. Kishore and I was having a discussion previously when these webinars were started. So J. Kishore was telling that, okay, let's do one thing. We will do a great web, and we will get the best speakers available for these sessions. So I said, yeah, that's a very brilliant idea. And how we can actually get the best speakers. So we thought we are not able to identify the best speakers. Then later Jay said that, okay, why can't we search in Google? So I searched in Google, best speakers in Trivandrum. I got the results from Google, Panasonic, Sony, Bose. So from my context and from the J. Kishore context, the best speakers is the best orators or the best knowledgeable person who can actually deliver the session. But from the context of Google, it is the best speakers which they are actually looking for. So ultimately, it's the context which makes the main thing. And if you're having choice, it's always very good. Like in a buffet, we are having many choices, and if you are able to take what, maybe you may be taking only one dish or maybe two dish or maybe three, but if you are taking a lighter version of it, still you will be very happy because you have a lot of choices. And again, like in the previous examples, we know that every project will not work in the same methodology, or every project will work in the same methodology, but it will be more effective if we can actually utilize some of the best practices available and best methodology which is available, which is best for that project according to the context. So, and every time you need to optimize your flow, your delivery need to be optimized. Like while speaking the delight customer, we were telling that we need to have a continuous delivery, a value added delivery to the customer. We can always optimize the flow of the to the customer every time, because we know that we can reduce the waste. Well, we understand that there can be a lot of waste which will be there, many a times which we may not be, we cannot say in an organization. Many a times the organizational metrics is a waste. We all know that, but we have to go with that. Right? So optimize the flow. If we can optimize the flow, whichever it is required, if we can improve the flow, making things to happen, that is the best way out. Like in the previous example, what we said, we have actually put a dashboard of the best performance of the individuals and the productivity percentage of the individuals. The leaderboard help in optimizing the flow. Whenever there is a delivery, there is a project which the people are taking, they will try to make the best out of it and deliver it within no time and with the utmost quality. Need to have an enterprise awareness to make sure that everything works properly, because all your project, your team need to be aligned with the enterprise goals. And the enterprise awareness is actually of five scales actually. We need to have a community awareness, we need to have an organizational awareness, we need to have the departmental awareness, we need to have a team awareness, and we need to have the individual awareness. From the individual perspective, we need to understand what are the skills of the individual which can be aligned to the team. And from the team's perspective, we need to understand what is actually the value delivery which the department can take and which can be reused later. And from an organizational perspective, again, what is the key learnings and what is the reusable assets which the organization can actually take from these learnings and which can be reused. So, and the same thing can be given to the community. Okay? And all the community need to get the learnings, whichever the learnings which is there, it need to be published to the community so that we should not have to reinvent the wheel and we have the straightforward guidance to take it to the next level. Going to the discipline agile, it is described in four views. Mainly, it is a mindset. It is about principles and the guidelines, with the agile principle guidelines and the mindset, which really makes a difference. Whichever the industry you are working with, maybe you're working with the construction, aeronautical, space, whatever, the IT or manufacturing, the mindset matters. It's not about doing an iteration or doing a scrum is the ultimate agile thing. It's only making sure that the right mindset and the right principle, that is, people come first. We need to make sure that the value delivery is given to the customer. All these principles and the guidelines make a huge difference. The second view is about the people with the right team structures and the roles and responsibilities. The right flow need to be there. We need to identify which is the right life cycle which we need to choose the best out of it. if you are choosing the not the right choice, but don't worry, discipline agile always give you the flexibility of choosing it later. That okay, you may be doing a Scrum agile till that time, and then you understand that no, this is not the right way, and you need to change it to Lean. You can actually change that, and you need to follow the workflow and the practices. The practices, we have goal diagrams which are already which is clearly mentioned in the DA toolkit, which is helping you in identifying which is the best practices available across, and you can identify and you can get the best out of it. Like we already discussed, teams are really unique and they can vary according to the purpose. There will be like financial, software development, marketing, security, customer service, lot of teams which will be there. The culture will be different. Maybe sometimes maybe flexible, rigid, and trusting. Maybe we have a small and a large. We will have different approaches like maybe agile, lean, hybrid, or traditional, and maybe we will be co-located or distributed across the globe. And in the COVID situation, everybody is working remotely. So that's another scenario which is totally there. And the primary goals which a discipline agile delivery team need to have is one is actually a team lead who is an agile process expert who help the team in making the things happen, and a product owner who have a total who owns the project vision, scope, and priorities, who will be interacting with the stakeholders and making sure that the team is delivering the right value to the stakeholders. There is a new thing which has been incorporated, that is a product owner who understand or who owns the architectural decision and the technical priorities. And this helps migrating the key technical risk, whichever it is there. And we have team members. Again, like we already said, we need all-rounder team members who will be cross-functional, who can deliver the solution, and stakeholders. Instead of customer, we put it as stakeholder in a holistic picture, like including the sponsors. We have operational engineers, support staffs, architectures, lot of things. And whenever we are actually going for scaling the team, we can actually use this as spider chart, which help you in identifying the complexity of the project, complexity of the team. And whenever we are actually identifying, we need to put a round on whichever is aptly suited for your particular team. And when the spider web is going towards the end of the diameter, then it means that it is a risky project. And if it is very short towards the sender, it means that it is less risky. I know that there is a lot of things which we can discuss during this time, but due to the time constraints, we are trying to make sure that I'm giving you a high-level picture of how discipline works. And so discipline agile, again, it's an agnostic hybrid. We have everything together. We have PMBOK, we have traditional methods, we have agile data, we have SAFe, we have DevOps, Kanban, Scrum, you name it, we have it. So this is an exact replica of how the Scrum team work, and they have your team interacts with many other teams, which is already there, and the actually not your team need to be agile. Your other teams who are actually interacting with you need to be agile friendly, or they have a mindset to be agile friendly. Then only you can actually making sure that you can totally work. And you need to identify and when we are speaking about the optimize the processes not only within the team but also from all these teams who are actually interacting with you. Very interesting thing which discipline agile which has come up is actually it is called a square onion, where we have forward into 4 layers. And from initially we have discipline agile delivery, we have different 6 methods. We have agile continuous agile delivery, and we have continuous lean, exploratory, we have lean methods and program. So there are 6 methods which are totally available, and we can choose from that. Again, going forward, we have DevOps, disciplined DevOps, we have disciplined Agile IT is there, we have a disciplined Agile enterprise which is there, which will cover the entire enterprise into a whole thing. We are making sure that we are not only implementing an Agile in a particular team, which may not be always a success story. We will be implementing an Agile mindset to the entire organization, which help the organization to move faster, understand the business agility, and deliver the value. So in every process slide, we have goals which have been set forward. Like for example, here it is a data management goal. We have many decision points which are already put forward in squares. In data management, we have decision points which are already defined. And in every decision points, we have a set of options which are already available. So when we are actually looking at the improving the data quality, we have 6 options which are already available. And if an option is going with the bold and italics option, it is considered as a default option. If no other option is available, if it is straightforward, this is the default option. But if it is not straightforward, you can customize it according to your team's requirement. And when there is an arrow which is actually pointing towards that, the arrow, the pointer of the arrow is having the most weightage. From the lower to the higher, if the arrow is going, it means that whenever there is an option which we are trying to choose, it's always better to choose from the top. Some of the process goals which already in the current situation we need to have, there are basically 3 phases in discipline agile. The additional thing which has been brought forward is actually the inception phase, where we have set our entire team there. Then making sure that we have an exploring the scope, we will identify the test strategy, everything is taken care. Then do the construction and completing the transition. So the teams can choose appropriate life cycles. There are some of the life cycles which you know it previously itself. This is an agile life cycle which have a DA flavor to it. We have added inception, construction, and transition to it, so that there will be iterations which will be happening, and the daily work and daily coordination meeting which will be there. But before that, we will make sure that we have an initial modeling and a planning a session which will be already taken care, so that everything will be totally organized, and we will make sure that the stakeholders vision is totally taken care. And we will be having, as usual, we will having the work items, and we will do iterations according to the sprint. And while the iteration wrap up, stakeholders will do. So when we are actually doing in a continuous delivery lean life cycle, as you are aware that the lean life cycle, we do not have the backlogs which we have been putting forward. We will have the entire list which have been putting forward, and the new features will be putting into it. And whenever the people are available, they can pull from the backlog and the entirely work on the thing. And it will be a daily work. And the lean is deal on a continuous lean is effective, then there is actually a change in the priority happens on a regular basis. And we can actually deliver on a regular basis, and we can entirely deliver it to the customer and get the customer feedback. And there is a change request, we will take the change request, or the new features, we will take the new features. And there is a new thing which has been a new life cycle which has been put forward by Discipline Agile, is actually the business service team life cycle, which is working perfectly for the marketing team or the sales team, or other operational team which is working along with the IT development teams. So we will have new requests, and it will continuously work on obtaining the feedback and performing it, coordinate, and finishing it. So a DA Flux is totally based upon the value stream of every organization, and a DA Flux will be totally working on how from stakeholders, how the strategies work, and from the portfolio management, the value delivery will go, and making sure that every release there will be a value which will be given to the customer. Not like conventional projects. Discipline Agile milestone are light. Discipline Agile milestones are actually embedded in previously in Agile. Mostly the governance structures are not well defined, but in Discipline Agile milestones, we have put milestones to make sure that everything goes proper, and and milestones are lightly knit so that we can. It is not a hard stop, or we need to make sure that the milestone is taken care. But it is always better to go with the milestone, and the key 6 milestones are the stakeholder vision, proven architecture, continued viability, sufficient functionality which is there. We need to be whether we are production ready, and are the stakeholders very much delighted. So all these things, if we are frequently making sure that these 6 milestones are being taken care, then things will go totally uninterrupted. And as you know, there is a famous book or famous methodology say that we need to fail fast whenever we are actually creating a product. Okay? So when I usually doing a gated improvement process, we need to identify a problem, we need to identify the potential solutions, the solution, adopt what really works, and abandon if it is not working. But many times what will happen is that many experiments fail. Okay? So while doing the experiments fail, we need to build the whole project or the whole product during that time, and it is totally a waste of time and money. And failing fast is totally fine. So Discipline Agile is telling that succeeding early will be totally better rather than failing fast. So at the time of identifying the potential solution itself, if we can actually making sure that the right processes and the right practices are being followed, then we are sure that we will understand that whether the potential solution will fail or success. And this will be totally taken care if we can actually put an experienced agile coach there, which is very expensive or maybe hard to find. So the Discipline Agile has put forward a Discipline Agile toolkit, which is a very straightforward thing, where there will be process blades which will be there will be process goals, and we will have options which will be given accordingly, decision points and options, so that we can actually making sure that we will try this Discipline Agile toolkit before implementing the solution itself, so that we will save a lot of time and money of the resources. And Discipline Agile, as we were discussing, we were speaking about whatever you start, right? There should be a continuous improvement. And it's always better to have a guided continuous improvement, either from an experienced coach or from a toolkit, or a combination of experienced coach plus a toolkit. So whenever we are actually doing such a kind of a continuous improvement, there is always a dip. It is always a learning curve. And if your team is very much experienced, and your team knows from long time, and if you are very specific or knowledgeable about agile practices, then the dip will be very minimum, but surely there will be a dip. So in summary, when we are actually looking at it, right, Discipline Agile is a comprehensive, well-organized toolkit of strategies that will help organization in be more successful in the Agile. In summary, we will say that best decisions lead to better outcomes. But in the case of Discipline Agile, don't worry about if the decision is gone wrong, we can actually change. When this Choosing Your Wow is actually a book which is having all these details, and we have the entire toolkit which is totally mentioned there, and it is available now in Amazon and other places. So this is a Bible for the DA as well as for the total business agility, and some may be interested in taking certifications on DA. So some of the certifications, the career path is like this. You will be a DA agilist initially, then be a DA certified agilist. Going by, I can be a DA Agile Lean Scrum Master or a DA Disciplined Agile Practitioner certified. So in both the cases, either you can be a certified disciplined agile coach or maybe a disciplined agile instructor. Yeah? So this is all. But what will happen is that I am sure that I have given a lot of information, and information may be overflowing. I'm very sure. But I will close the entire thing with a small story. There is this story which I tell to many of my many times, and if there is any project team member who is already here, pardon me for this story, because this story is the best which we can use in the agile. And there are two clocks actually. There is a old clock and there's a new clock in a clock shop, and the new you too old. And how old are you? He said, I was around 100 years. Then he said, oh God, you are 100 years. Right? So you have actually made oscillations around, 100 years into 24 hours a day, into 365 days an year, into 24 hours a day, into 60 minutes an hour and 60 seconds a minute. So it's a huge thing. Oh, I am sure I cannot do that. And the clock said, don't worry about it, right? Don't worry, don't think about too much complications about it, right? Do one tick at a time, right? Don't overcomplicate. Understand one thing at a time and take it forward, right? You need to start, you will understand one thing, do one iteration, do one delivery, do it. That's the simplest way which discipline agile works. So thank you. And if you are looking for the two key things which you can actually take from the entire session, maybe I can actually quote. I'm not sure how many of you are from Kerala and how many see films, right? One is actually a famous quote from Manichitra Thayar, that is Mohanlal was saying, I will go I will break all the conventional theories of psychiatry and make things happen. Like that, you can break all of the conventional theories, whichever you know, and make your project successful. And mainly, like in the Bigil movie, Vijay was telling, right? Context mukyam bigile means context is the most important thing. Thank you, and back to J. Kishan. Question, answers, if
Yeah. KK, we'll take some questions.
yes,
Thanks
sure.
for that wonderful session. We'll go with the first question from Adarsh. As the self-managed team, as the current approach, do you think there is a resistance from the existing leaders to accept this?
No, I actually know. Because if your leaders understand that what is the benefit that you are getting from a self-managed team, then the leaders will not take this as a challenge, because tell them that this is the most easiest way, and if you set the self-managed team, then all the credit. So surely most of the leaders will take it, and it will not be a problem. And like my entire team actually worked day and night to make things happen. Now I am presenting the case studies now here, right? So similarly, the leaders can actually present the case studies, and the team can work self-sufficiently.
Thanks, KK. There's a lot of comments coming on. It is a wonderful session. So there is one other thing from Ramesh Bellur. So he was looking forward for something on the agile-based metrics and analysis. Since we are running out of time, probably that will be something which you can cover in your next?
Yeah, one other thing which I can actually say is that you can, I will share my email address, and I'm sure that most of you already know it, and it is pmikerala.org. So you can write a mail to me or put it on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to answer whatever the question it is. And maybe, like J.K. Shore was telling, maybe we may be able to take continuous sessions on disciplinary. I know that in the past 1 year, I have actually dumped a lot of information on you. So, uh, sorry for that, but that is how discipline agile is. It's a huge, vast knowledge base. And believe me, it is very good.
Thanks,
So,
KK.
yeah.
So we are running out of time. So maybe Dilip, I can.
Yeah, so Cynthia, can we share the PDU code for the participants, or you can make me host? I can actually share the PDU code.
Yeah, I'll do that.
One more thing, maybe we will send a mail tomorrow. From now onwards, PMI Kerala is trying to get feedback about the sessions after the sessions which are happening, and so we will be sending a mail tomorrow to asking about. And please feel free to put your feedback, and let's take it forward. We are happy to help you with all the suggestions which you have been putting forward.
Thank you, KK. Yeah, so hope you can see the PDU code here. Yep. So KK, it was a wonderful session, and you gave us a outline of what the discipline agile is, and burst all the myth around it with the right set of examples and a few stories as well. So on behalf of PMI Kerala chapter board and members, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Krishna Kumar, for this wonderful session, and definitely on behalf of the president of PMI Kerala chapter also.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
And the next session will be on 16th, 16th by Vijay. We'll be sharing the details soon.
Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.